50,000 years ago, the Protheans were the only spacefaring species in the galaxy. They vanished in a swift galactic extinction. Only the legacy of their empire remains. They are believed to have built the mass relays and the Citadel, which have allowed numerous species to explore and expand throughout the galaxy. Prothean ruins are found on worlds across the galaxy. While surprisingly intact for their age, functioning examples of Prothean paleotechnology are rare. Time and generations of looters have picked their dead cities and derelict stations clean. Some believe the Protheans meddled in the evolution of younger races. The Hanar homeworld of Kadje, for example, shows clear evidence of former Prothean occupation. The presence of a former Prothean observation post on Mars has caused a rebirth of interventionary evolutionists among humans. These individuals believe the god myths of ancient civilizations are misremembered encounters with aliens. The Geth are a humanoid race of networked AIs. They were created by the Quarians 300 years ago as tools of labor and war. When the Geth showed signs of self-evolution, the Quarians attempted to exterminate them. The Geth won the resulting war. This example has led to legal, systematic repression of artificial intelligences in galactic society. The Geth possess a unique distributed intelligence. An individual has rudimentary animal instincts, but as their numbers and proximity increase, the apparent intelligence of each individual improves. In groups, they can reason, analyze situations, and use tactics, as well as any organic race. Geth space is located at the trailing end of the Perseus Arm, beyond the lawless Terminus systems. The Perseus Veil, an obscuring dark nebula of opaque gas and dust, lies between their space and the Terminus systems. After the Geth secure a location, they round up and impale dead and living bodies on mechanical spikes. The spikes rapidly transform these victims into withered husks, extracting water and trace minerals and replacing them with cybernetics. The cybernetics reanimate the lifeless flesh and tissue, transforming the bodies into mindless killing machines. Some Alliance soldiers refer to the husk-generating spikes as dragon's teeth, a reference to the mythological berserkers who sprang up from the earth wherever the teeth of the dragon Eris were planted. Dragon's teeth and husks bear little resemblance to other pieces of Geth technology. No one is sure why a synthetic race would bother to drain the minuscule amount of recoverable resources from organic corpses, though the value of reusing them as shock troops is obvious. The Citadel is an ancient deep space station, presumably constructed by the Protheans. Since the Prothean extinction, numerous species have come to call the Citadel home. It serves as the political, cultural, and financial capital of the galactic community. To represent their interests, most species maintain embassies on the Presidium, the Citadel's inner ring. The Citadel Tower in the center of the Presidium holds the Citadel Council chambers. Council affairs often have far-reaching effects on the rest of the galactic community.
That loud snapping noise is
known
my
as
dog
the
board.
wards
It's
extend
not a
from the
gunshot.
Presidium. Their inner surfaces have been built into cities, populated by millions of inhabitants from across the galaxy. The Citadel is virtually indestructible. If attacked, the station can close its arms to form a solid, impregnable shell.
I've had to do this recording a couple of times,
For as long as
so
the
I think
station
I've
has
done some of these
existed,
before.
an
I'm not
enigmatic
gonna be able to
race
know from
called the
memory.
Keepers has maintained
I think
it.
so. But some of them auto-start.
Spectres are agents from the Office of Special Tactics and Reconnaissance, and answer only to the Citadel Council. They are elite military operatives, granted the authority to deal with threats to peace and stability in whatever way they deem necessary. They operate independently or in groups of 2 or 3. Some are empathetic peacekeepers, resolving disputes through diplomacy. Others are cold-blooded assassins, ruthlessly dispatching problem individuals. All get the job done one way or another, often operating outside the bounds of galactic law. The Spectres were founded after the Solarians joined the Council. For many years, they operated in secrecy as backroom problem solvers. Only after the Krogan rebellions did their activities become publicized. Assignment of a Spectre is less contentious than a military deployment, but makes it clear that the Council is concerned about a situation. Humanity's first contact with an alien race occurred in 2157. At that time, the Alliance allowed survey fleets to activate any dormant mass relays discovered, a practice considered dangerous and irresponsible by Council-aligned races. When a Turian patrol discovered a human fleet attempting to activate a relay, they attacked. One human vessel survived, retreating to the colony of Shanxi. The Turians followed, quickly defeating the local forces. Shanxi was occupied, the first and to date only human world to be conquered by an alien species. The Turians believed the handful of ships they defeated represented the bulk of human defenses, so they were unprepared when the Second Fleet, under Admiral Castany Drescher, launched a strong counteroffensive, evicting them from Shanxi. The Turians mobilized for full-scale war, drawing the attention of the rest of the galaxy. The Council quickly intervened, forcing a truce. Fortunately for humanity, the First Contact War was ended with a diplomatic solution. The Terminus systems are located on the far side of the Attican Traverse, beyond the space administered by the Citadel Council or claimed by the Human Systems Alliance. It is populated by a loose affiliation of minor species, united only in their refusal to acknowledge the political authority of the Council or adhere to the Citadel conventions. Their independence comes at a price. The Terminus is fraught with conflict. War among the various species is common, as governments and dictators constantly rise and fall. The region is a haven for illegal activities, particularly piracy and the slave trade. At least once a year, a fleet from the Terminus invades the nearby Attican Traverse. These attacks are typically small raids against poorly defended colonies. The Council rarely retaliates, as sending patrols into the Terminus systems could unify the disparate species against their common foe, triggering a long and costly war. Combat hard suits use a dual-layer system to protect the wearer. The inner layer consists of fabric armor with kinetic padding. Areas that don't need to be flexible, such as the chest or shins, are reinforced with sheets of lightweight, ablative ceramic. The outer layer consists of automatically generated kinetic barriers. Objects traveling above a certain speed will trigger the barrier's reflex system and be deflected, provided there is enough energy left in the shield's power cell. Armored hardsuits are sealable to protect the wearer from extremes of temperature and atmosphere. Standard equipment includes an onboard mini-frame and a communications, navigation, and sensing suite. The mini-frame is designed to accept and display data from a weapon's smart targeting system to make it easier to locate and eliminate enemies. Kinetic barriers, more commonly called shields, provide protection against most mass accelerator weapons. Whether on a starship or a soldier's suit of armor, the basic principle remains the same. Kinetic barriers are repulsive mass effect fields, projected from tiny emitters. These shields safely deflect small objects traveling at rapid velocities. This affords protection from bullets and other dangerous projectiles, but still allows the user to sit down without knocking away their chair. The shielding afforded by kinetic barriers does not protect against extremes of temperature, toxins, or radiation.
Like, how often do you cast a shield while you're sitting in your chair? I'd like to know. Anyway, as you can see, there's male ship art there. I wish there were fem ship art, but there isn't. And I think that's true across all three games. Whenever there is a thumbnail of something, it's always male ship. Although the Citadel is equipped with Mass Effect generating Element 0 cores, most of the gravity on the station is generated by the centrifugal force of rotation. Please forgive me for some of the sound quality issues. I'm trying to reduce room noise, but that is going to distort my voice a bit. So I'm trying to counteract my laptop fan with some filters. So I'm going to be sound a little underwater. But I'm noticing while I am editing that I'm talking about background noise, like my cat or my dog, or my cat's my dog's the dog door, and or even like my bread maker. And in the final product, those sounds aren't showing up. So I'm going to compromise. There's going to be a little bit of underwater, but a lot less background noise and hiss from my laptop itself. I've probably recorded this particular segment about 4 times. And forgive me if I don't remember which ones I've said, or if the audio is not. I might be headed for a 5th. We're going to see how it works and try to get a really good balanced setup. So since I am recording in a noisy place, let's just make it a slightly underwater noisy place. Quieter place. Light lag prevents sensing in real time at great distances. A ship firing its thrusters at the Charon relay can be easily detected from Earth, 5.75 light hours, 6 billion kilometers away. Earth will only see the event 5 hours and 45 minutes after it occurs. Due to the light speed limit, defenders can't see enemies coming until they've already arrived. Because there is FTL travel and communications but no FTL sensors, frigates are crucial for scouting and picket duties. I still don't know what a picket duty is. I think I've said that every time I've read this. This time, I'm going to look it up. What is picket duty? Picket duty is when a soldier or a small group of soldiers are positioned in front of a friendly position to warn of enemy advances. Pickets are often stationed at a distance that is visible to the enemy, and they are responsible for reporting any enemy movements. Pickets may also be tasked with preventing desertion from their own ranks. Oh. Okay. Passive sensors are used for long-range detection, while active sensors obtain short-range, high-quality targeting data. Passive sensors include visual, thermographic, and radio detectors that watch and listen for objects in space. A powered ship emits a great deal of energy. The heat of the life support systems, the radiation off by power plants and electrical equipment, the exhaust of the thrusters. Starships stand out plainly against the near absolute zero background of space. Passive sensors can be used during FTL travel, but incoming data is significantly distorted by the effects of the Mass Effect envelope and Doppler shift. Active sensors are radars and high-resolution LiDARs, laser detection and ranging, that emit a ping of energy and listen for return signals. LiDARs have a narrower field of view than radar, but LiDAR resolution allows images of undetected objects to be assembled. Active sensors are useless when a ship is moving at FTL speed. The development of practical manufacturing omni-tools allows modern militaries a great deal of flexibility in equipment loadouts. A vast number of field modification kits or upgrades are available for common equipment such as weapons, armor, omni-tools, biotic amps, and even grenades. An upgrade kit typically consists of less than a dozen unique parts and an optical storage disk. When loaded into an omni-tool, the OSD provides all technical specifications required to manufacture the tools and additional parts necessary to install the upgrade onto another piece of equipment. Assembly is typically modular, and installation can be completed in less than a minute. Since omni-tools are designed to use common battlefield salvage materials such as plastics, ceramics, and light metals rendered into semi-molten omni-gel for quick use, it is quite possible for a trained soldier carrying upgrade kits to customize gear on the battlefield to fit the current tactical situation. So I had to reload all of my mounts.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
I think everything, it remembers my settings. I think everything's cool, but we'll see. At least Caden's face isn't melting off.
Commander, I'm glad to see you're okay. Losing Jenkins was hard on the crew, and I'm glad we didn't lose you too.
Things were pretty rough down there.
Yeah, you never get used to seeing dead civilians. Doesn't seem right somehow. But at least you stopped Saren from wiping out the whole colony.
I couldn't have done it without you.
We're Marines. We stick together. And I'm just sorry that we lost Jenkins.
Yeah, I wish I could have done something to save him.
I was there. You did everything right. It was just bad luck. It's been a hell of a shakedown, Cruz. Our first mission ends with one Spectre killing another. The Citadel Council's not going to be happy about that. Probably use it to lever more concessions out of the Alliance.
You've got a good grasp of the situation. You a career man?
Yeah, a lot of biotics are. We're not restricted, but we sure don't go undocumented. May as well get a paycheck for it. Besides, my father served. I made him proud when I enlisted. Eventually. But is that why you're here? Because of your family?
My family were homesteaders on Mindwar. I'm the only one left. But I've moved beyond that.
Oh, that's right, the Blitz. I imagine that bought you any post in the fleet. Word is we're heading for the Citadel, ma'am. Can you, tell me why?
The captain hopes the ambassador can get an audience with the council. Tell them what Saren's been up to.
Makes sense. They'd probably like to know he's not working for them anymore. Whatever happens, we'll be ready, Commander.
I'm glad to see you're feeling better, Commander.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me, too safe. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors.
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over 12 special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
I say this every time. Nobody with migraines is lucky.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. The crew could use some good news after what happened to Jenkins.
Jenkins was a valuable part of this crew.
Part of me feels guilty over what happened. If Jenkins was still alive, I might not be here.
You're a good soldier, Williams. You belong on the Normandy.
Thanks, Commander. That means a lot from you. I've never met anyone who was awarded the Star of Terra.
Things were pretty rough down there. Are you okay?
I've seen friends die before. Comes with being a Marine. But to see my whole unit wiped out, and you never get used to seeing dead civilians. But things would have been a lot worse if you hadn't shown up.
We couldn't have done it without you, Williams.
Thanks, Commander. I have to admit, I was a little worried about being assigned to the Normandy. It's nice when someone makes you feel welcome.
I think you're gonna fit in here just fine, Williams.
Thanks, Commander.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
So here's a Mass Effect 2 style armor locker where you can customize gear for yourself. They used a bunch. I like the mods that added a whole bunch of Mass Effect 2 assets. So let me see if I was right, and actually does have armor. So even the Spectre armor isn't as good as that. Alright.
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
Let's see what you got.
You bet, Commander.
Okay, so I have a mod that adds a black market license. I can buy that. And then if you don't want it, if you don't want it, you can revoke it. So you can either use or not use the mod, which is good. Yeah, I've got the anti-thorium gas in my inventory from the last run through. I have a cat on my lap right now. My voice might fade a bit, and so I'm going to sell a bunch of stuff. I'm going to wait to sell everything in my inventory. This is faster than marking or converting to Omnigel, so I'm going to be using this method. I'm going to sell things I know I'm not going to use. I'll hold on to most of the armor until everybody is recruited. And then sell everything we've left over. I don't even know whether or not to mention that I have a cat on my lap and he's rubbing all over everything, and that will adjust sound. Sometimes, can't even tell. Weird. What? You wanna go to Citadel, Ash? Yeah? Yeah, you just want to knock my hand off.
Shame about
keyboard.
Jenkins, Commander.
Yeah, that's good too. You're a sweetheart. Ah. just does the big flop where he just lands on the laptop and the keyboard. It's a bit frantic. I mean, he wants attention.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Good timing, Commander. I was just about to bring us into the Citadel. See that taxpayer money at work.
Look at the size of that ship.
The Ascension, flagship of the Citadel fleet.
Well, size isn't everything.
Why so touchy, Joker?
I'm just saying you need firepower, too.
Look at that monster. Its main gun could rip through the barriers in any ship in the Alliance fleet.
Good thing it's on our side, then.
Citadel Control, this is SSV Normandy, requesting permission to land.
Stand by for clearance, Normandy. Clearance granted. You may begin your approach. Transferring you to an Alliance operator.
Roger, Alliance Tower. Normandy out.
Normandy, this is Alliance Tower. Please proceed to Dock 422.
Don't bite me, rotten cat. Nobody likes that.
This
Took
is
5
an
years old and
outrage!
still not
The
learned-
Council would
learned to
step
not
in
bite.
if the Geth attacked a Turian colony!
The Turians don't found colonies on the borders of the Terminus
Iron
systems,
and Shinobin.
Ambassador.
Humanity was well aware of the risks when you went into the Traverse.
What about Saren? You can't just ignore a rogue Spectre. I demand action!
You don't get to make demands of the Council, Ambassador.
Citadel Security is investigating your charges against Saren. We will discuss the CSEC findings at the hearing, not before.
Captain Anderson, I see you brought half your crew with you.
Just the ground team from Eden Prime. In case you had any questions.
Now he's rubbing on
I
this.
have the mission reports.
Sorry,
I assume they're
but, you
accurate?
know,
They are.
Live cat more important than
Sounds like you convinced the Council to give us an
pretending.
audience.
Yes, we have.
They were not happy about it. Saren's their top agent. They don't like him being accused of treason.
Saren's a threat to every human colony out there. He needs to be stopped. The Council has to listen to us.
Settle down, Commander. You've already done more than enough to jeopardize your candidacy for the Spectres. The mission on Eden Prime was a chance to prove you could get the job done. Instead, Nihilus ended up dead and the beacon was destroyed.
That's Saren's fault, not hers.
Then we better hope the CSEC investigation turns up evidence to support our accusations. Otherwise, the Council might use this as an excuse to keep you out of the Spectres. Come with me, Captain. I want to go over a few things before the hearing. Shepard, you and the others can meet us at the Citadel Tower, top level. I'll make sure you have clearance to get in.
And that's why I hate politicians.
Alliance Patrol report. Captain Hendrickson reported some unusual energy readings during a patrol of the Argos Rho cluster. She had particular concerns about the Hydra system, but was recalled before her team could investigate further. No patrols are scheduled for that No patrols are scheduled for that sector. Do we want to send in a recon team? Okay, I'm gonna head straight for Tower.
Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me to
And
be your
then
guide.
straight for recruiting Tally. Before I really start exploring. The reason why I do that is because I prefer to have... I'm going to end up with Garrus and Rex in my group. I prefer to have them around for all of the like reactions to meeting people and hearing dialogue. And also because after you become Spectre, people's people's demeanor changes. You get different content and more respect, more authority, more gameplay authority once you are a recognized Spectre.
Look at that bug thing over there. What's it doing?
Please do not disturb the keepers. Welcome to the Presidium. Allow me to be...
The council
I
isn't
don't
going
know
to
why
ask me
they
any questions, are
blur
they?
things out.
Got it.
Just
We've
in
made our
the-
reports. Now we just have to trust
hear it's
Ambassador
weird.
Udina.
No, we don't, sir.
Okay. I did test on volume levels and now it's too soft. Let me adjust my computer. It is traditional to run circles around Garrus.
Saren's hiding something. Give me more time. Stall them.
Stall the council? Don't be ridiculous. Your investigation is over, Garrus.
Commander Shepard, Garrus Vicarian. I was the officer in charge of the CSEC investigation into Saren.
Who were you just talking to?
That was Executor Palin, head of Citadel Security, my boss. He'll be presenting my findings on Saren to the council.
Sounds like you really want to bring him down.
I don't trust him. Something about him rubs me the wrong way. But he's a Spectre. Everything he touches is classified. I can't find any hard evidence.
I think the council's ready for us, Commander.
Good luck, Shepard. Maybe they'll listen to you. You don't want to keep the council waiting.
Yeah, I do, honey. I love you. Run circles around Garrus. Like, he's mine. You can't have him, he's mine.
Don't be ridiculous. The Volus won't be joining the council for years.
I'm not so sure. The humans are making a strong push, and you can bet the Volus will be right on their coattails if they succeed.
Allowing the humans to join us is a sound strategic move. But the Volus? No. The Hanar are likely to be next, then the Elcor.
You may be right, though the Hanar need to lighten up a bit first.
You just don't like them because you have trouble understanding them.
Okay, yeah, it's... Sound is weird. Hold on. Okay, so yeah, people talking. This is just a weird thing because, now combat's gonna be too loud? Oh, I'm sorry. I wish they had different sliders for different things, but they don't. But if I want to be able to hear people talk...
The hearing's already started. Come on.
The Geth attack is a matter of some concern, but there is nothing to indicate Saren was involved in any way.
The investigation by Citadel Security turned up no evidence to support your charge of treason.
An eyewitness saw him kill Nihilus in cold blood.
We've read the Eden Prime reports, Ambassador. The testimony of one traumatized dock worker is hardly compelling proof.
I resent these accusations. Nihilus was a fellow Spectre and a friend.
That just let you catch him off guard.
Captain Anderson, you always seem to be involved when humanity makes false charges against me. And this must be your protege, Commander Shepard, the one who let the beacon get destroyed.
The mission to Eden Prime was top secret. The only way you could know about the beacon was if you were there.
With Nihilus gone, his files passed on to me. I read the Eden Prime report. I was unimpressed. But what can you expect from a human?
Saren despises humanity. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Your species needs to learn its place, Shepard. You're not ready to join the Council. You're not even ready to join the Spectres.
He has no right to say that. That's not his decision.
Shepard's admission into the Spectres is not the purpose of this meeting.
This meeting has no purpose. The humans are wasting your time, Counselor, and mine.
Saren's hiding behind his position as a Spectre. You need to open your eyes.
What we need is evidence. So far, we've seen nothing.
There is still one outstanding issue. Commander Shepard's vision. It may have been triggered by the beacon.
Are we allowing dreams into evidence now? How can I defend my innocence against this kind of testimony?
I agree. Our judgment must be based on facts and evidence, not wild imaginings and reckless speculation.
Do you have anything else to add, Commander Shepard?
You've made your decision. I won't waste my breath.
The Council has found no evidence of any connection between Saren and the Geth. Ambassador, your petition to have him disbarred from the Spectres is denied.
I'm glad to see justice was served.
This meeting is adjourned.
It was a mistake bringing you into that hearing, Captain. You and Saren have too much history. It made the Council question our motives.
I know Saren. He's working with the Geth for one reason. To exterminate the entire human race. Every colony we have is at risk. Every world we control is in danger. Even Earth isn't safe.
Tell me about this history between you and Saren.
I worked with him on a mission a long time ago. Things went bad. Real bad. We shouldn't talk about this here. But I know what he's like. And he has to be stopped.
I love that we shouldn't talk about this here, but then we end up talking about this here for like 20 minutes.
What's our next step?
As a Spectre, he's virtually untouchable. We need to find some way to expose him.
What about Garrus, that CSEC investigator? We saw him arguing with the Executor.
That's right. He was asking for more time to finish his report. Seems like he was close to finding something on Saren.
Any idea where we could find him?
I have a contact in CSEC who can help us track Garrus down. His name is Harkin.
Forget it. They suspended Harkin last month, drinking on the job. I won't waste my time with that loser.
You won't have to. I don't want the Council using your past history with Saren as an excuse to ignore anything we turn up. Shepard will handle this.
You can't just cut Captain Anderson out of this investigation.
The Ambassador's right. I need to step aside.
I need to take care of some business. Captain, meet me in my office later.
Harkin's probably getting drunk at Cora's Den. It's a dingy little club in the lower section of the wards.
Maybe there's another way to find evidence against Saren.
You should talk to Barla Vaughn over in the financial district. Rumor has it he's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
The Shadow Broker?
An information dealer. Buys and sells secrets to the highest bidder. I've heard Barla Vaughn's one of the top representatives. He might know something about Saren, but his information won't come cheap.
You and Saren have a history. What happened?
About 20 years ago, I was part of a mission in the Skillian Verge. I was working with Saren to find and remove a known terrorist threat. Saren eliminated his target, but a lot of people died along the way, innocent people. And the official records just covered it all up. But I saw how he operates. No conscience. No hesitation. He'd kill 1,000 innocent civilians to end a war without a second thought.
Killing innocents doesn't end wars. It causes them.
I know how the world works, Commander. Sometimes you're forced to make unpleasant decisions. but only if there's no other way. Saren doesn't even look for another option. He's twisted, broken. He likes the violence, the killing. And he knows how to cover his tracks.
Our ambassador doesn't seem to get along with the Council.
He's just frustrated. The Council's always preaching that we need to be part of the galactic community. But for them, it's a one-way street. They want us to expand and settle unstable regions like the Skillian Verge and the Attican Traverse. But when we run into trouble, they don't want to help us out. Everyone knows it's only a matter of time until we get a seat on the Council. The ambassador just thinks it should happen sooner rather than later. And I agree.
You don't think much of Harkin.
The guy joined CSEC about 20 years ago. He's been an embarrassment to our species ever since. Roughing up suspects in custody, bribery accusations, alcohol and drug use. The embassy used to step in when he got in trouble. But I guess enough was enough.
Guy's a scumbag. He should have been cut loose a long time ago.
He was one of the first human CSEC officers. Guess it would have looked bad if he got fired. A lot of backroom deals were worked out over the years to keep him on the force. Politics is a dirty business sometimes, but it looks like his time's run out. We've got enough humans in CSEC now to stop protecting him.
I want to know more about the Spectres.
They're not your typical government agency. They tend to work alone, behind the scenes. They take care of problems the Council can't. It's not easy preserving peace across an entire galaxy. The Council prefers to use diplomacy and negotiation. But sometimes more extreme measures are needed.
How do they decide who becomes a Spectre?
You can't just apply to join. There's no training program. Spectres aren't made. They're born. The Council's always looking for exceptional individuals. People who can get the job done, like you. They've been watching you for years. They see something in you. They want you on their side. Nihilus was supposed to give them a final recommendation, but with him gone, things are still up in the air.
What's their command structure like?
There is no command structure. Each Spectre answers directly to the Council. Sometimes they're sent on specific missions. Other times, they act on their own. They tend to operate outside the law, do whatever it takes to accomplish their goals. The Council just turns a blind eye. Spectres have a lot of power, Shepard.
They sound like shadow operatives.
Everything about them is classified. We don't even know how many there are. The latest Alliance estimate puts their numbers under 100. But the Council couldn't do its job without them. They're the Citadel's top agents, the last line of defense, the final option before open war. The entire galaxy respects and fears them. If a Spectre shows up, you know something big is about to happen.
What happens when a Spectre goes rogue, like Saren?
It doesn't happen often. The Council is careful when they select their candidates. But when something does go wrong, there's usually only one solution. Send another Spectre to bring the rogue agent down.
Tell me more about the Shadow Broker.
He's a necessary evil of galactic politics. Buying and selling information is a part of the game, and the Shadow Broker just happens to be the best player on the field. Always sells to the highest bidder. Doesn't get involved in politics, doesn't pick sides. A simple system, but it works. He's not a threat to anyone, not directly. He's just a resource we can use, or she is. Or maybe they are. Nobody really knows.
Tell me about Bar Lavan.
He specializes in moving large sums of money without leaving a paper trail. A financial genius, doesn't do anything illegal, but he knows all the loopholes. He's got an impressive client list. Ambassadors, diplomats, Spectres. That's probably why the Shadow Broker uses him.
I should go.
Good luck, Shepard. I'll be over in the ambassador's office if you need anything else.
Sorry, my kitty is rubbing all over the laptop. So that is the noise.
So, this is where the Council passes judgment on all us little folk, huh? Ever get the feeling we ran over our heads, Commander?
So I think when you're, someone in your squad says, huh, they've usually got something to say about the location.
I like that fountain. It's very soothing.
Yeah. the keyboard. Okay. Yep, that's his collar on the keyboard. Alright, baby. Yeah, okay. Give you a little more space. Yeah, I get it. You don't really want space. You just want disruption. Disruption is what you were after. And when they accommodate you, you're disappointed. Because that is against kitty nature to cooperate.
In light of the recent attack on Eden Prime, many colonial investors are pulling their support for future projects. Proponents of expanded human colonization insist that Eden Prime was an isolated case. Nevertheless, colonist enrollment has dropped sharply. Many colonial proposals are on hold until backers have some reassurance that human colonies will be adequately protected.
I don't know why they blur out. I really hate depth of field. I just think... I hate depth of field stuff like that. Nobody likes that.
We'll find him down here?
Developers like that because it makes it easier to process something, but... Nope. Nope, don't want it.
How you holding up, Lieutenant?
Not too bad. No headaches worth mentioning lately. Maybe I'm getting used to the strain.
Maybe you've just got a good stress release. I know that knocking the Geth on their synthetic asses gets rid of my headaches.
I'm allowed to punch her as a migraine sufferer for saying that and minimizing the pain, but... yeah. Yeah. Alright, where are we going? My planet... Royston.
Commander Shepard? Excuse me, Commander Shepard! I'm Emily Wong. I'm an investigative journalist working here on the Citadel. Could I have a moment of your time?
What do you need?
I've been hunting for evidence of corruption and organized crime on the Citadel, but there are places I can't go. I was hoping you might share anything you find during your own investigation. I can make it worth your time.
How do you know that my investigation is going to uncover anything you need?
You wouldn't be investigating if it weren't big. And if it's big, it's something I'd like to hear about.
You gotta have access to better sources. Why contact me?
I'm using every source I can find, but I think I've got a better shot with you. I've read your file. If anyone is going to uncover corruption here, it's the hero of the Skillian Blitz.
How do you know I'm investigating anything here on the Citadel?
I'm a good journalist, Commander Shepard. Word gets around.
Sounds like a good cause. If I find any information, it's yours.
Thank you, Commander. You won't regret it.
Yeah, I think there's a... spot over here to... interact? Yeah. View of the nebula. It's weird. I have casual hubs installed, but I'm still wearing full armor, so clearly I have not installed my mods terribly well.
I don't sell this mod.
Look, I know it was you. I remember your face.
Really, that's impressive. Usually you humans can't tell one Turian from another.
This was the place. Now, are you going to give me a refund or not?
Do you have your proof of purchase?
What? No, I don't think you ever gave me one.
I'm sorry then. I can't help.
What do you...
Can't help you.
No, that is Garrus's voice actor, Brendan Keener, saying most humans can't tell one Turian from another.
Is that really... Wow! It's you! You're Commander Shepard, the hero of Eden Prime. I am so honored to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
My name is Conrad. Conrad Werner. They say you killed more than 100 Geth on Eden Prime.
I spent most of my time trying to stay alive and help the colonists.
Hey, I know you're probably busy, but do you have time for a quick autograph?
Anything for a fan. Here.
Thanks. I really appreciate it. My wife is going to be so impressed. I'll let you get back to work. But next time you're on Earth, I'd love to buy you a drink. Thanks again!
So this is modded. You can just be nice to Conrad Werner, and I believe that's the last ME1 interaction we're going to have, because the further interactions really are Renegade. So I have a mod to be nice to him in the first one, and then have the game remember that he was nice to you by the second one, and by the third one there is a really wonderful batch of interactions that include getting... You need to get all of the collections from ME1 in order to get a really good Conrad Werner turnout in Mass Effect 3, but I always go out of my way to make sure that's the case. Got a precog here. There is something weird about the mods here that
That's her.
change my weapon. No reason whatsoever.
Charging up.
Camera's online.
Yeah, kind of testing Mass Effect 2 while I am playing this game. So part of my issue is I'm having like the instinct to reload. So I'm going in and out of my shot, but I don't really need to in Mass Effect 1. Yeah, there should really be male dancers here. I'm just really there's a turret.
Back off, Rex. Fist told us to take you down if you showed up. What are you waiting for? I'm standing right here. This is Fist's only chance. If he's smart, he'll take it. He's not coming out, Rex. End of story. This story is just beginning. Out of my way, humans. I have no quarrel with you.
What was that all about?
Who knows? Let's just try not to get caught in the middle.
I'm getting a little ahead of myself. I just need to talk to Harkin.
Hey there, sweetheart. You looking for some fun? 'Cause I gotta say, that soldier getup looks real good on that body of yours. Why don't you sit your sweet little ass down beside old Harkin? Have a drink. We'll see where this goes.
I'd rather drink a cup of acid after chewing on a razor blade.
You trying to hurt my feelings? You gotta do better than that. After 20 years with C-Sec, I've been called every name in the book, princess.
Call me princess again and you'll be picking your teeth up off the floor. Now tell me where Garrus is.
Okay, just relax. Garrus, you say? You must be one of Anderson's crew. Poor bastard still trying to bring Saren down, huh? I know where Garrus is, but you gotta tell me something first. Did the captain let you in on his big secret?
Is there something I should know about the captain?
The captain used to be a Spectre. Didn't know that, did you? It was all very hush-hush. The first human ever given that honor, and then he blew it. Screwed up his mission so bad they kicked him out. Of course, he blames Saren. Says the Turians set him up.
Why'd they kick him out?
Have to ask him. I never heard any of the details. Bet it's a good story, though. The hero's fall. Classic tragedy.
You said they covered all this up. How'd you hear about it?
I spent 20 years working cases here on the Citadel. People on this station love to talk. Secrets are like herpes. If you got them, you might as well spread them around.
Just tell me where Garrus went.
Garrus was sniffing around Dr. Michelle's office. She runs the med clinic on the other side of the wards. Last I heard, he was going back there.
How well do you know Captain Anderson?
Met him a few times over the years. One of those hardcore military guys. Yes, sir. No, sir. Can't have any fun with a stick up your ass, sir. That's probably why he climbed the Alliance ranks so fast. The military loves brown-nosers.
The captain's a good soldier.
Sure, whatever. Dress him in a fancy suit, pin some shiny medals on his chest, and call him a hero. Everybody else does. But if he's so great, why'd the Spectres kick him out? Why'd you go ask him about that?
You need to look in a mirror. Sober up and take some responsibility for yourself.
Save your sermons. This ain't no church.
What's it like working for CSEC?
You mean, what was it like? The executor suspended me without pay. Recurring violations. CSEC was keeping a file on me. Can you believe that? Every mistake I ever made went into the books. Get a little rough with a suspect, note in the file. Have a couple of drinks on duty, note in the file. Skim a couple of credits off a drug bust, note in the file. It's a goddamn witch hunt.
You get off easy if you ask me.
What the hell do you know? Working for CSEC isn't like being a Marine. People get pissed off if we shoot somebody. Investigations, inquiries, rules, regulations. Every day I plowed through enough red tape to choke a rhino. That's how you gotta be to do this job. So don't talk to me about right and wrong. You soldiers got it easy.
What do you know about Garrus?
Damn hothead is what he is. Still figures he can save the world. Always bucking heads with the Executor. He'll pay for it soon enough. The Executor loves to put us lowly field agents in our place. Just look what happened to me.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, good. Go. Let me drink in peace.
Yes.
Why didn't Captain Anderson tell us he used to be a Spectre?
Maybe it's not true. Parkin's an ass. I bet he's just messing with our heads.
You're probably right. Still, I'd like to hear what the captain has to say about all this.
Never been a real fan of crowds.
A lot of traffic here. How fast do you think those cars are going?
I didn't tell anyone, I swear!
That was smart, Doc. Now if Garrus comes around, you stay smart. Keep your mouth shut or we'll... Who are you?
Let her go.
Ah!
Take cover!
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going back into cover anyway. Getting out of cover while your weapon cools down is not a good idea.
Lost shields!
All targets down.
Perfect timing, Shepard. Gave me a clear shot at that bastard.
You took him down clean.
Sometimes you get lucky. Dr. Michelle, are you hurt?
No, I'm okay. Thanks to you. All of you.
I know those men threatened you, but if you tell us who they work for, we can protect you.
They work for Feast. They wanted to shut me up, keep me from telling Garrus about the Quarian.
Does this have anything to do with the investigation into Saren?
I think it might. Dr. Michelle, tell us what happened.
A few days ago, a Quarian came by my office. She'd been shot, but she wouldn't tell me who did it. I could tell she was scared, probably on the run. She asked me about the Shadow Broker. She wanted to trade information in exchange for a safe place to hide.
Where is she now?
I put her in contact with Fist. He's an agent for the Shadow Broker.
Not anymore. Now he works for Saren. And the Shadow Broker isn't too happy about it.
Fist betrayed the Shadow Broker? That's stupid even for him. Saren must have made him quite the offer.
That Quarian must have something Saren wants. Something worth crossing the Shadow Broker to get.
What else can you tell me about the Quarian?
I'm not sure. Like I said, she wanted to trade information for a place to hide. She didn't... Wait a minute. Geth. Her information had something to do with the Geth.
She must be able to link Saren to the Geth. There is no way the Council can ignore this.
Time we paid Fist a visit.
This is your show, Shepard. But I want to bring Saren down as much as you do. I'm coming with you.
You're a Turian. Why do you want to bring him down?
I couldn't find the proof I needed in my investigation, but I knew what was really going on. Saren is a traitor to the Council and a disgrace to my people.
Welcome aboard, Garrus.
You know, we aren't the only ones going after Fist. The Shadow Broker hired a Krogan bounty hunter named Rex to take him out.
Yeah, we saw him in the bar.
A Krogan might come in handy.
Last I heard, he was at the CSEC Academy.
What's he doing there?
Fist accused him of making threats. We brought Rex in for a little talk. If you hurry, you can catch him at the Academy before he leaves.
Move out.
Yay! Okay, guys. As much as Garrus is deemed to be an expert sniper and makes that really leans on that hard in MU2, I'm gonna max out all of his buffs. I will get him to sniper rifles, but the cooldown effect kind of plays against you in this game in some ways. Because the stronger your sniper rifle is, the more likely that it's going to have a very long cooldown time. And since I've got the best sniper rifles and really good mods, he switches weapons, like, all the time. So, I'm going to max him out on assault rifles. He'll have assault rifles and sniper rifles, which is weird, because in this cutscene, he used a pistol. Overload. Yeah. I'm just gonna spend the rest on decryption. So, unfortunately, the AI in this game, as stated previously, is really crappy, and there isn't an overhaul for it. So, rather than, if I try to micromanage and expect everybody to do well, I will hate this game. So, there you go, buddy. There's all your old stuff back.
The Geth are a humanoid race.
Yeah,
the
it's going to start
Krogan evolved in a
auto-reading
hostile and vicious
stuff, so I'm gonna
environment.
have to try to remember.
Until the invention of gunpowder weapons, eaten by predators was still the #1 cause of Krogan fatalities. Afterwards, it was death by gunshot. When the Solarians discovered them, the Krogan were a brutal, primitive species, struggling to survive a self-inflicted nuclear winter. The Solarians culturally uplifted them, teaching them to use and build modern technology, so they could serve as soldiers in the Rachni War. Liberated from the harsh conditions of their homeworld, the quick-breeding Krogan experienced an unprecedented population explosion. They began to colonize nearby worlds. Even though these worlds were already inhabited, the Krogan rebellions lasted nearly a century, only ending when the Turians unleashed the Genophage, a Solarian-developed bioweapon that crushed all Krogan resistance. The Genophage makes only 1 in 1,000 pregnancies viable, and today the Krogan are a slowly dying breed. Understandably, the Krogan harbor a grudge against all other species, especially the Turians.
So there is something really strange here about the Genophage. And it has to do with Solarian life expectancy. Like, they only live to their 20s. Okay. Solarians have a lifespan about 40 years. So the Genophage is treated in this whole as if it were a massive thing now that has been going on for a long time, but realistically it's been about a decade. 1 in 1,000 pregnancies are viable. Okay, but yeah, I understand this is this is a death sentence. This is the complete collapse of Krogan culture. It's just, but it's such a strange thing and the Krogan live for 1,000 years. So 10 years is not long in a Krogan lifetime. It's just a very strange setup. And yeah, there is cloning. This is a thing. So Krogan could clone. It's a really weird storyline for me in my head to try to work out the timeline and what's really happening. But Solarians are so short-lived. So yeah, it's hard for me to put all of that together into a reasonable narrative.
Driven from their home system by the Geth nearly 3 centuries ago, most Quarians now live aboard the Migrant Fleet, a flotilla of 50,000 vessels ranging in size from passenger shuttles to mobile space stations. Home to 17 million Quarians, the flotilla understandably has scarce resources. Because of this, each Quarian must go on a rite of passage known as the pilgrimage when they come of age. They leave the fleet and only return once they have found something of value they can bring back to their people. Other species tend to look down on the Quarians for creating the Geth, and for the negative impact their fleet has when it enters a system. This has led to many myths and rumors about the Quarians, including the belief that underneath their clothes and breathing masks, they are actually cybernetic creatures, a combination of organic and synthetic parts.
Okay, so while that was reading, I was thinking about, okay, so if Solarians live to 40, and even say that, so imagine that Morden is somewhere between 30 and 40 now, nearing the end of his life. And even to be really generous, say he joined SGT when he was when he was 10. That's still only a 20-year span for the Genophage to be developed and implemented. Because I'm leaving 10 years at the end of life because Morden isn't dead, plus he's had to have time for Malon to leave and do his own thing. So even if these are really abbreviated, it's still only been about a decade since the genophage has been put out there, which is, what, like 1% of a Krogan lifetime? So the patience that Krogan have, plus, if Krogan live for, like, 1,000 years, their gestation cycle has to be really long. So it's got to take, that's something also. So realistically, it would barely have been enough time for Krogan to become pregnant and then not be viable. And it is canon that they're always stillborn, so it's not like these women are like continually trying. They're going through like 3 years, I would imagine, 3 or even longer, of being pregnant. So there's almost like not enough time for the Krogan to even have discovered that this is happening, much less react. It's a very, very abbreviated, weird timescale for something. Yeah, I still can't make it work in my head, biologically or otherwise. Sometimes these are going to start auto-playing, and
The
I need
Asari
to
were
stop them.
the
Yeah.
second species to join the Citadel. The Solarians are warm-blooded amphibians with a hyperactive metabolism. Solarians think fast, talk fast, and move fast. To Solarians, other species seem sluggish and dull-witted. Unfortunately, their metabolic speed leaves them with a relatively short lifespan. Solarians over the age of 40 are a rarity. The Solarians were responsible for advancing the development of the primitive Krogan species to use as soldiers during the Rachni Wars. They were also behind the creation of the genophage bioweapon the Turians used to quell the Krogan rebellions several centuries later. Solarians are known for their observational capability and non-linear thinking. This manifests as an aptitude for research and espionage. They are constantly experimenting and inventing, and it is generally accepted that they always know more than they are letting on.
Yes. So the Krogan rebellion. Okay. It is really hard for me to fit all of this in.
The Citadel is The Council is an executive committee composed of representatives from the Asari Republics, the Turian hierarchy, and the Solarian Union. Though they have no official power over the independent governments of other species, the Council's decisions carry great weight throughout the galaxy. No single Council race is strong enough to defy the other two, and all have a vested interest in compromise and cooperation. Each of the Council species has general characteristics associated with the various aspects of governing the galaxy. The Asari are typically seen as diplomats and mediators. The Solarians gather intelligence and information. The Turians provide the bulk of the military and peacekeeping forces. Any species granted an embassy on the Citadel is considered an associate member, bound by the accords of the Citadel Conventions. Associate members may bring issues to the attention of the Council, though they have no input on the decision. The Human Systems Alliance became an associate member of the Citadel in 2165. The Mako infantry fighting vehicle was designed for the System Alliance's frigates. Though the interior is cramped, an M35 is small enough to be carried in the cargo bay and easily deployed on virtually any world. With its turreted 155mm mass accelerator and coaxially mounted machine gun, the Mako can provide a fire team with weapon support as well as mobility. Since Alliance Marines may be required to fight on any world, the Mako is environmentally sealed and equipped with microthrusters for use on low-gravity planetoids. The Mako is powered by a sealed hydrogen-oxygen fuel cell and includes a small Element Zero core. While not large enough to nullify the vehicle's mass, the core can reduce it enough to be safely airdropped. When used in conjunction with thrusters, it also allows the Mako to extricate itself from difficult terrain. Biotics is the ability of rare individuals to manipulate dark energy and create mass effect fields through the use of electrical impulses from the brain. Intense training and surgically implanted amplifiers are necessary for a biotic to produce mass effect fields powerful enough for practical use. The relative strength of biotic abilities varies greatly among species and with each individual. There are 3 branches of biotics. Telekinesis uses mass-lowering fields to levitate or impel objects. Mass-raising kinetic fields are used to block or pin objects. Spatial distortion uses rapidly shifting mass fields to shred objects. Most organic species are capable of developing biotic abilities, though there are risks involved. Biotics are the result of an in utero exposure to element 0. This usually causes fatal cancers in the victim, but in rare cases, it coalesces into nodules within the fetus's developing nervous system. Element 0 can increase or decrease the mass of a volume of space-time when subjected to an electrical current. With a positive current, mass is increased. With a negative current, mass is decreased. The stronger the current, the greater the magnitude of the dark energy mass effect. In space, low-mass fields allow FTL travel and inexpensive surface-to-orbit transit. High-mass fields create artificial gravity and push space debris away from vessels. In manufacturing, low-mass fields permit the creation of evenly blended alloys, while high-mass compaction creates dense, sturdy construction materials. The military makes extensive use of mobility-enhancing technologies, with Mass Effect utilizing fighting vehicles standard frontline issue in most military forces. Mass Effect fields are also essential in the creation of kinetic barriers or shields to protect against enemy fire.
Okay, did a little digging while that was reading. Thank you, Reddit, for conversations. What I am missing is that Morden did not create the genophage. The genophage was released, it's like 2100 now. It was released in like 700 something. So the genophage has been out for about 1,000 years, which makes much more sense. But how there's any Turian culture anywhere whatsoever is kind of hard to imagine. So Morden altered the genophage because the Krogan were out evolving it, in essence. So yeah, that makes much more sense. And this is why I read the codexes and I go back, because I have, incomplete information, so it's good for me to go through and do this.
Omni-tools are handheld devices that combine a computer microframe, sensor analysis pack, and manufacturing fabricator. Versatile and reliable, an Omni-tool can be used to analyze and adjust the functionality of most standard equipment, including weapons and armor, from a distance. The fabrication module can rapidly assemble small three-dimensional objects from common reusable industrial plastics, ceramics, and light alloys. This allows for field repairs and modifications to most standard items, as well as the reuse of salvaged equipment. Omni-tools are standard issue for soldiers and first-in colonists.
Citadel is surrounded by a blue-tinted reflection nebula. The light of the nebula is actually light from the Citadel, scattered and reflected back at the station. First, the Serpent Nebula was assumed to be made of microscopic construction debris. Prevailing theory holds that Protheans use molecular nanotechnology to manufacture the incredibly durable materials used in the Citadel. But unlike other nebula, the Serpent does not dissipate over time. Therefore, it must be replenished constantly. The current popular theory is that non-recyclable waste collected by the Citadel's keepers is somehow rendered down to the atomic or molecular level and ejected into the cloud. The thick nebula presents a navigation hazard. Beyond the relatively clear areas around the Citadel, electrical discharges are common. This is not blocked by kinetic barriers and can severely damage metal-framed starships. In addition, some dense knots of dust can overwhelm the repulsion of kinetic barriers on smaller ships. If such a vessel is moving fast enough at the time, the effects are similar to being hit by a sandblaster. A Attempting to reach the Citadel through open space navigation is inadvisable. The only safe approach is through the various Mass Effect relays that orbit it. Military jargon. Ashore. When a ship's crew leaves a vessel, they are ashore. Though normally used regarding planets, it can refer to boarding a space station. Away. When a ship releases the equipment tethering it to a space station or surface dock, it is away. Aye aye. The proper way to acknowledge an order. If told to attack, the correct response is aye aye. Sir. If asked, are you proud to be a Marine? The correct response is yes, sir. ASAP. Pronounced ASAP, an acronym of as soon as possible. Belay, stop, or cease. Bridge, the navigational center of a spacecraft, where the steering is done. Captain's mast, non-judicial disciplinary proceedings by unit commanders. CIC, Combat Information Center, the command center of a spacecraft. CIC is filled with sensor. The CIC is filled with sensor displays to make sense out of the chaos of combat. DC, Damage Control, the containment and repair of damage to a spacecraft. ECM, electronic countermeasures used to avoid enemy sensors, from passive emissions masking to active jamming. EVA, extravehicular activity, time spent on pressure suit, outside of a vehicle, spaceship, or station. Flank. The flank is the side of a military formation, since the soldiers are facing elsewhere. An enemy that can attack it on the flank can often turn it or roll it up. FNG, freaking new guys, a derisive term for inexperienced personnel. Groundside, the surface of a planet. Helmsman, the crew member who pilots a spacecraft. LADAR, light amplified detection and ranging, an active sensor that bounces lasers off an object to determine its bearing and distance. LADAR has sufficient resolution that the data can be reconstructed into an image. Tour party. Spacecraft's crew sent ashore on official business. Silent running, an old submariner's term used aboard the Normandy to denote when stealth systems are active. SITREP, abbreviation of Situation Report, an evaluation of the current military situation. Spacer, someone who spent most of their life in space. XO, Executive Officer, second in command of an Alliance warship. The XO is responsible for administrative and personnel matters. Biotic amps. Biotics manipulate Mass Effect fields using dozens of element zero nodules within their nervous systems that react to electric stimuli from the brain. Amplifiers allow biotics to synchronize the nodules so they can form fields large and strong enough for practical use. Amplifiers can improve a specific discipline or talent. An implant is a surgically embedded interface port into which amps are plugged in. On humans, the implant is usually placed at the base of the skull for convenient access, though the user must be careful to keep it free of contaminant. Implant ports can fit a variety of amps, and there's a growing market for modifications and add-ons. Finest quality implants and amps are manufactured by Asari artisans. The Alliance's L3 implants, first deployed in 2170, are a significant step forward.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from Fist's thugs, Commander. I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't been there.
You're a doctor. How did you end up here on the Citadel?
My parents brought me here when I was young. My father was a medic with the Alliance. I chose to keep the medical tradition alive, but not the military. Fixing up wounded soldiers isn't my idea of fun.
Let me take a look at what you have for sale.
Of course.
Okay, so she's got, she's got medical mounts. And, Metagel replenishing station.
If you feel lucky, we should visit the casino over in Flux.
Feel lucky, babe. Radio controlled. I can turn it on and off, I guess. Okay. Wouldn't that be nice if you could control the bullshit that they put in, like, dentist's office? When they're just playing TV commercials, infomercials forever. I'm sure that doesn't make me want to murder anybody. Okay. I am... Okay. Yeah, okay. Going back. Headed back to Coriston. Yeah, it switches me to my shotgun. I don't know why. I don't
Looks like
want
it's
the
shut
shotgun.
down. Fist knows we're coming.
You know those red dots. Okay.
Take cover!
Now I'm ready.
Place has a crazy lack of cover. Oh wow.
Now
that ain't fun.
Take cover! This should slow him down.
I don't know why the bartender thinks he can hide behind that. But I'm grateful. This looks like a good place for singularity. Yes. Yes.
Ah! Enemy is everywhere! I will destroy you! I think we're good, Shepard.
Stop right there. Don't come any closer.
Warehouse workers. All the real guards must be dead.
Stay back, or we'll shoot.
So the guy on the left clearly has Caden's voice, and the guy on the right has Mark Muir's voice.
This would be a good time to find somewhere else to work.
Yeah, right. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I never liked Fist anyway.
I would have never thought of that.
Shooting people isn't always the answer.
Yeah, I'll check it later. I'm just thinking about casual outfits maybe being reset.
Time that died.
Enemy is everywhere!
Wait! Don't kill me, I surrender!
Where's the Quarian?
She's not here. I don't know where she is. That's the truth.
He's lying.
You better start explaining before I lose my temper.
The Quarian isn't here. Said she'd only deal with the Shadow Broker himself.
Impossible. The Shadow Broker only works through his agents.
Nobody meets the Shadow Broker. Ever. Even I don't know his true identity. But she didn't know that. I told her I'd set a meeting up. But when she shows up,
it'll be Saren's men waiting for her.
Give me the location, now.
Here on the wards, the back alley by the markets. She's supposed to meet them right now. You can make it if you hurry.
Am I supposed to just forget your part in all this?
Hey, I came clean. I told you about the meeting. Besides, I've got my own problems now. The Shadow Broker wants me dead. I have to disappear. Forget about me. I'm a ghost.
You're not my concern.
Don't worry, you'll never see me again.
I will. In a bar. Oh, in Mass Effect 2. Hey, a reminder that this part is timed, so I usually save, so if I screw up, and sometimes I do, and Insanity difficulty does slow you down because there's a lot of bad guys.
Enemy sighted! I will destroy you!
It's just makes me crazy. That bottleneck. This corner's curved. It's difficult to, but not impossible. And now Garrus is directly in my way.
Perimeter clear. Too many lights, too much noise.
Did you bring it?
Where's the Shadow Broker? Where's Fist?
They'll be here. Where's the evidence?
No way. The deal's off.
I can't do anything from cover here. I can take some more chances here with being out of cover than I can in Mass Effect 2, which I mean, even almost in any difficulty, being out of cover at
Just
any
set
moment
me up. I knew I couldn't trust him.
will get you killed. Here you can kind of run around a bit.
Were you hurt in the fight?
I know how to look after myself. Not that I don't appreciate the help. Who are you?
My name's Shepard. I'm looking for evidence to prove Saren's a traitor.
Then I have a chance to repay you for saving my life. But not here. We need to go somewhere safe.
The ambassador's office. It's safe there. He'll want to see this anyway.
You're not making my life easy, Shepard. Firefights in the wards, an all-out assault on Korra's den. Do you know how many... Who's this? A Quarian? What are you up to, Shepard?
Making your day, Ambassador. She has information linking Saren to the Geth.
Really? Maybe you better start at the beginning, Miss...
My name is Tali. Tali Zora Naraya.
We don't see many Quarians here. Why did you leave the flotilla?
I was on my pilgrimage, my rite of passage into adulthood.
I've never heard of this before.
It is a tradition among my people. When we reach maturity, we leave the ships of our parents and our people behind. Alone, we search the stars, only returning to the flotilla once we have discovered something of value. In this way, we prove ourselves worthy of adulthood.
What kinds of things do you look for?
It could be resources like food or fuel, or some type of useful technology, or even knowledge that will make life easier on the flotilla. Through our pilgrimage, we prove that we will contribute to the community, rather than being a burden on our limited resources.
Tell us what you found.
During my travels, I began hearing reports of Geth. Since they drove my people into exile, the Geth have never ventured beyond the Veil. I was curious. I tracked a patrol of Geth to an uncharted world. I waited for one to become separated from its unit. Then I disabled it and removed its memory core.
I thought the Geth fried their memory cores when they died. Some kind of defense mechanism.
How did you manage to preserve the memory core?
My people created the Geth. If you're quick, careful, and lucky, small caches of data can sometimes be saved. Most of the core was wiped clean, but I salvaged something from its audio banks.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
That's Saren's voice. This proves he was involved in the attack.
He said Eden Prime brought him one step closer to finding the conduit. Any idea what that means?
The conduit must have something to do with the beacon. Maybe it's some kind of Prothean technology. Like a weapon.
Wait, there's more. Saren wasn't working alone.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
I don't recognize that other voice, the one talking about Reapers.
Are they some kind of new alien species?
According to the memory core, the Reapers were a hyper-advanced machine race that existed 50,000 years ago. The Reapers hunted the Protheans to total extinction, and then they vanished. At least, that's what the Geth believe.
Sounds a little far-fetched.
The vision on Eden Prime. I understand it now. I saw the Protheans being wiped out by the Reapers.
The Geth revere the Reapers as gods, the pinnacle of non-organic life. And they believe Saren knows how to bring the Reapers back.
The Council is just going to love this.
The Reapers are a threat to every species in Citadel space. We have to tell them.
No matter what they think about the rest of this, those audio files prove Saren's a traitor.
The Captain's right. We need to present this to the Council right away.
What about her, the Quarian?
My name is Tali. You saw me in the alley, Commander. You know what I can do. Let me come with you.
I thought you were on your pilgrimage.
The pilgrimage proves we are willing to give of ourselves for the greater good. What does it say about me if I turn my back on this? Saren is a danger to the entire galaxy. My pilgrimage can wait.
I'll take all the help I can get.
Thanks. You won't regret this.
Anderson and I will go ahead to get things ready with the Council. Take a few minutes to collect yourself, then meet us in the tower.
Yay, my favorite people are here! Hacking is very helpful, so I'm going to max her out on that. That's usually the skill that I take myself as a bonus. And I'm going to miss having it. And one of the main reasons why it's great to have Tali on your team. Unfortunately, Garrus isn't as helpful. Although I'm still going to bring him with me, because otherwise I won't have fun. Okay, hacking is essentially a charm for synthetics. So that means that if you have Tali with you on the final fight, and I won't, I'm going to have Wreck, but normally the best team for the final fight against a Geth-heavy enemy is probably Liara with Singularity and Geth, and Tali with hacking. It's just crew. I'm going to try to get by with Galerius and Rex. But part of the reason why that's possible is that I'm max level, and since my Shepard can do Singularity, that's mostly important against like Saren in the final fight. The way he just jumps around, if you can use Singularity on him, makes it a much easier fight. Same with all the, I call them jumpy fuckers, and that's something. That is a classification given by Morin in one of my fan fictions, Venri. The Geth rubber bands that jump around. She calls them yo-yos and jumpy fuckers, and yes. So in her voice, yes, jumpy fuckers are their classification. So I never actually remembered the in-game name. Now it's just jumpy fucker. But jumpy fuckers are counteracted by Singularity. Okay, I'm gonna max her out on pistols. They're gonna be using their weapons a lot. Tali is probably not coming out with me often, and that's a shame. Normally, this would be it. This is my final team. This would be Garrus and Tali, but I'm going with Rux and Garrus this one. I'm sorry, baby. I adore you. Sorry you're not coming with me, but at least you have on just about every other run through, short of some teams I had to change for either story reasons or difficulty reasons. You're my girl. Okay. Good. Gotta make sure there's nothing better, but usually this stuff with the, obviously the stuff that has the mods already in it is the best stuff available from my prior game. I do occasionally check armor. I know weapons are all done, but occasionally there might be a possible armor upgrade, so I will sometimes look.
Excuse me, Commander Shepard. Could you spare a moment of your time? Commander Shepard, my name is Samesh Bhatia. Forgive the intrusion, but I have nowhere else to turn.
It's no trouble. What can I do for you?
My wife was a Marine. She was in the 212 on Eden Prime. I've requested that my wife's body be returned to me for cremation, but the military has refused my request.
Why did they refuse your request? There's got to be some reason.
I don't know. All I know is that they have declared it impossible for my wife to be returned to me.
There's no reason for your wife's body to be held like this. Just wait here.
The man in charge of my case is Mr. Bosker. When I last saw him, he was in the expensive bar over there. Thank you for your time. I just want to give my wife a proper funeral, and the respect she deserves.
Okay. So, although, I told him to wait there, I'm not going to go do that right now because right now, obviously, it seems as though the whole Saren thing is a little bit more important.
Come on. Udina's presenting the Quarian's evidence to the Council.
Eden Prime was a major victory. The beacon has brought us one step closer to finding the conduit.
And one step closer to the return of the Reapers.
You wanted proof? There it is.
This evidence is irrefutable, Ambassador. Saren will be stripped of his Spectre status, and all efforts will be made to bring him in to answer for his crimes.
I recognize the other voice, the one speaking with Saren. Matriarch Benezia.
Who is she?
Matriarchs are powerful Asari who have entered the final stage of their lives. Revered for their wisdom and experience, they serve as guides and mentors to my people. Matriarch Benezia is a powerful biotic, and she had many followers. She will make a formidable ally for Saren.
I'm more interested in the Reapers. What do you know about them?
Only what was extracted from the Geth's memory core. The Reapers were an ancient race of machines that wiped out the Protheans. Then they vanished.
The Geth believe the Reapers are gods, and Saren is the prophet for their return.
We think the conduit is the key to bringing them back. Saren's searching for it. That's why he attacked Eden Prime.
Do we even know what this conduit is?
Saren thinks it can bring back the Reapers. That's bad enough.
Listen to what you're saying. Saren wants to bring back the machines that wiped out all life in the galaxy? Impossible. It has to be. Where did the Reapers go? Why did they vanish? How come we found no trace of their existence? If they were real, we'd have found something.
I tried to warn you about Saren, and you refused to face the truth. Don't make the same mistake again.
This is different. You proved Saren betrayed the Council. We all agree he's using the Geth to search for the conduit, but we don't really know why.
The Reapers are obviously just a myth, Commander. A convenient lie to cover Saren's true purpose. A legend he is using to bend the Geth to his will.
50,000 years ago, the Reapers wiped out all galactic civilization. If Saren finds the conduit, it will happen again.
Saren is a rogue agent on the run for his life. He no longer has the rights or resources of a Spectre. The Council has stripped him of his position.
That is not good enough. You know he's hiding somewhere in the Traverse. Send your fleet in!
A fleet cannot track down one man.
A Citadel fleet could secure the entire region, keep the Geth from attacking any more of our colonies.
Or it could trigger a war with the Terminus systems. We won't be dragged into a galactic confrontation over a few dozen human colonies.
Every time humanity asks for help, you ignore us.
Shepard's right. I'm sick of this council and its anti-human bull...
Ambassador, there is another solution. A way to stop Saren that does not require fleets or armies.
No! It's too soon. Humanity is not ready for the responsibilities that come with joining the Spectres.
You don't have to send a fleet into the Traverse, and the Ambassador gets his human Spectre. Everybody's happy. Commander Shepard, step forward. It is the decision of the Council that you be granted all the powers and privileges of the Special Tactics and Reconnaissance Branch of the Citadel.
Spectres are not trained, but chosen. Individuals forged in the fire of service and battle. Those whose actions elevate them above the rank and file.
Spectres are an ideal, a symbol, the embodiment of courage, determination, and self-reliance. They are the right hand of the Council, instruments of our will.
Spectres bear a great burden. They are protectors of galactic peace, both our first and last line of defense. The safety of the galaxy is theirs to uphold.
You are the first human Spectre, Commander. This is a great accomplishment for you and your entire species.
I'm honored, Counselor.
We're sending you into the Traverse after Saren. He's a fugitive from justice, so you are authorized to use any means necessary to apprehend or eliminate him.
Any idea where to find him?
We will forward any relevant files to Ambassador Udina.
This meeting of the Council is adjourned.
Congratulations, Commander.
We've got a lot of work to do, Shepard. You're going to need a ship, a crew, supplies.
You'll get access to special equipment and training now. You should go down to the C-Sec Academy and speak to the Spectre Requisitions Officer.
Anderson, come with me. I'll need your help to set all this up.
I thought the ambassador would be a little more grateful. He didn't even thank you.
What do you expect from a politician? Come on.
Right behind you, Shepard.
Yay! So the Spectre bonus, the Spectre training talent, I believe that is from the... It's not Bring Down the Sky, it's the other DLC, the Rogue AI. So I already have all of these unlocked. Yeah, there's all my Spectre training right there. Okay.